So welcome, Jesse, to a Curious Yogi podcast. I'm so excited and honored and delighted to have your presence here with me on the show this afternoon.
I have been looking forward to this for a long time. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's nice to have these connections and good friends that are really inspired and delighted in life with oneness and meditation and living a more spiritually evolved life. And I've always felt that of you and appreciated that about you. So I'm excited to hear a little bit of your story and ask you some deeper questions about your perspective on life and where you are right now and how the listeners can get inspired by your story.
Oh, very cool. It's such an exciting time where growing up, my parents were meditators and yogis, and it was kind of a weird thing. It was an outcast thing. It was something that you got made fun of at school. My parents were vegetarian, hippie, yogi meditators. And now yoga is cool. Meditation is mainstream. So there's some risks and downsides of that, but generally it's a very cool thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it is so true now. It's in one way, it's amazing how it is mainstream and more normal for people to be experiencing mindfulness and meditation as a way to navigate the waking state, which can be so chaotic and crazy. And also, there's a lot of stuff to sift through for those people that are seeking and searching, which is why I'm so interested about the journey anybody can take to come to a spiritual path. So I'm wondering what it was like for you growing up spiritual. I know your grandfather was a big influence in your life. I even read an article where he was described as mystical, and how that shaped you now as an adult, as a father, as a husband, to have that kind of upbringing, which, like you said, it wasn't very normal.
No, so I had my 5th and 7th birthdays on an ashram in the high Himalayas, where we are right now, in Kulu Valley in India. And also, in the bigger picture, a family where everything was spiritual. There wasn't this divide between here's my work life, here's my friend's life, here's my social life, and then once a week we go to church or something. Everything had a spiritual motivation and underpinning behind it. So a lot of people, when they talk about my grandfather, Jesse Stirling, who definitely was a dude, he's in the Broadcasting Hall of Fame, he invented 24-hour television, he was big buddies with John Lennon for several years, the whole trip. He was a spiritual seeker. And I think, to be honest, it's kind of silly, but the Beatles had an Indian guru, so he wanted an Indian guru, right? And he had accomplished everything the world had told him to accomplish. He had a big family, he had made it, he's in the communications business, yet he still felt like he didn't know any of the answers. None of his desires were satisfied inside. He wanted more, more, more. That is what motivated his journey to India, his spiritual quest, and where I landed today, growing up in this spiritual family.